All right, welcome back, everybody. We are celebrating Diwali here on the Now Morning program, and this is our Diwali special. Now we are going to be speaking about the art of Mehindi. And for those who may not know what Mehindi is, you may be more familiar with the other word used for it. It's henna. And this morning, to share that information with me, it is the henna artist, Risa Ragunanan Mohammed, who's the owner and manager of Henna Trinidad. Good morning.
Morning.
And we also have our lovely hand model, Jennifer, here this morning because she has nice hands.
Yeah.
We're going to see the artwork being done on Jennifer's hand this morning as well. So, Risa, as you continue to do your work, I'll ask you some questions. When it comes to henna, what is the symbolism behind it?
All right. Mehindi, which is the art of applying the henna paste on your skin. You use the two terms actually interchangeably. It serves the same purpose as does makeup and jewelry. It's a form of beautification of the skin. Wonderful. And you would put on makeup and dress up and stuff just to look attractive, to look comfortable, to look what's the word I'm looking for?
Adorned?
Yes. Yes, perfect, yes, adorned. So it's a way that you can actually adorn your skin, and the henna itself, it's a paste that you put on your skin. You leave it for a little while, and it actually stains your skin.
I see.
Yeah.
So what is the paste made of?
So the henna paste is actually made out of henna powder, and henna powder comes from the actual henna plant itself.
I see, so it's a plant-based substance.
Yes, correct. So the botanical name is called Lawsonia enormis. They take the younger part of the leaves, the buds and the stems of the actual plant, they harvest it, they dry it, and they grind it into a fine powder.
Right.
And you mix that powder with something acidic. And for lack of a better word right now, there's a chemical reaction that takes place between the liquid and the powder, and that actually forces the powder to release the dye.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
So the actual henna dye itself, it actually binds together with the keratin in your skin. So they don't only use henna on your skin, but did you know that you can actually use henna in your hair?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for people like me whose hair is thin, I could probably make it look a little bit nicer, right? It would have been wonderful if it was actually a miracle worker, It would have been perfect. Well, I could pray, right?
Actually, henna dates back as far as even the Egyptian times.
Right.
There's evidence to prove that Cleopatra used it in her hair to make it lustrous and long. And the henna itself, when you put it in your hair, it not only colors your hair, but it treats and conditions your hair and your scalp. So you have a little bit of hope.
I do. It
Yes,
sounds
you
like I
do.
do.
Yes.
If it's good for Cleopatra, it's good for me, right? But continuing, during Diwali time and the Diwali season, we see many people, especially women, with henna designs on their hands and such. Is it only used for Diwali, or are there other occasions in which it is used?
Actually, it's common in Trinidad to see henna around the Diwali time. And it's stereotyped in Trinidad and Tobago, as a matter of fact, that, henna is for Hindus alone. And really and truly, henna is more of a traditional cultural thing.
I see.
And because it is that we live in such a diverse country, where we share all our different religions, and everybody celebrates Eid and Diwali and Christmas.
Right.
It's not just allocated or only for Diwali alone. So it's actually a way that you can express yourself, like when you go get a permanent tattoo.
Right.
So for those who don't want the commitment of a permanent tattoo.
Like me.
I'm afraid, yes, I'm thinking this is actually the better way. Well, okay, that's a wrong word. It's an alternative.
An alternative.
Yes.
So that means that this is not a permanent thing. It fades after some time?
That is correct. Now, actually, the henna itself does not fade. So if we think back to when it is that we were talking about the stain,
right?
It actually binds together with the keratin in your skin. And every time you wash your hands, and as of course, with our COVID-19 protocols, we're washing our hands a little more often than usual. So you get rid of the layers of skin that has that henna dye molecule with it.
I see. So it's the skin that is being shed and not the henna that is being
Correct. That's it. Yes.
faded.
So a lot of people think that is the actual henna that's fading, but it's not the henna. It's your skin that you're shedding the layers, and that's how it is that it looks as though it's fading.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. It is as much science as it is art.
Yeah, it is actually. Yes, it is.
Now, as I mentioned, I have seen women wearing it most often. Do men also do henna?
Yes, they do. Actually, in India, for the more high-end traditional weddings, you would find that the grooms get henna done just as elaborate as the brides.
Really?
Yeah.
And is the hand the only place that people do henna, or they do it on other parts of
No,
their body?
actually, it's a lot of people do their feet, and it's starting to become a very popular trend. Shoulders, backs, you know, under the bust, legs, and it's very popular around Carnival as well too.
Really? So see how the culture again is just being shared.
Correct.
And
Yes.
you know,
yes.
we all celebrate each other's culture
That is correct.
here in Trinidad. And when it comes to the length of time, how long does it generally stay on the skin?
You could get a safe week out of your henna stain. If it is that you take proper care of it, you could get a full week out of it, yeah.
And the designs of the henna, they're so ornate and they're so intricate.
Yes.
Do they have symbolism behind those designs?
There are some designs that actually have some meanings behind them. So for bridal henna, you would find that a lot of brides actually tend to ask for elements such as a mandala. And a mandala is a round design, and it symbolizes eternity.
Right.
So it's similar to the meaning of a ring.
Right.
So you know it's supposed to symbolize that, you know, they don't want their marriage to end, so it has to go on for eternity. Yeah.
Right.
So peacocks and paisleys are also a sign of fertility, and you know, obviously the flowers are beautification.
Now I'm seeing this color of the henna. It looks kind of brown or brass color almost.
Yes.
Are there different colors or types of henna?
All right, so this is a very good thing that you're touching on. What I'm using here is what we call natural henna,
I see.
and it's not to be confused with what we know as chemical henna on the market right now. So natural henna is something that you will actually mix yourself, and there are a lot of henna artists locally that actually mix their own henna. And my business, we actually provide all the materials that you need to mix your own henna. That's Henna Trinidad. And chemical henna actually is the base is the actual natural henna. However, they introduce colorants and chemicals and preservatives into the paste. And that's where you get the colors. And I personally will not recommend that you use those products because of the amount of chemicals that they have in it.
Are there adverse effects?
Yes, they are. A lot of people have reported, you know, they've been getting a lot of allergic reactions, itching, swelling, bumps, rashes. It could even go as far as nausea.
Really?
Yeah, nausea, vomiting, you know, dizzy spells, shortness of breath, trip to the ER. Yeah.
And that is definitely not what you want
Well,
when you're putting something on to decorate and to
and you
to celebrate.
you want to be able to look beautiful and not have to cover yourself in a cream to get rid of a reaction.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, my advice to everybody is just to make sure that the products that you're using or your henna artist is using is all natural products, and it's easy to determine whether it is that henna is all natural, yes or no. So the chemical cones come in a factory-looking packaging.
Right.
Whereas our cones, we actually roll our cones, we make our paste, we pipe
You wrap
the
that
paste.
yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. Everything from cutting the paper to making the paste, to piping it inside there, and then doing the designs itself.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you are making this look so effortless. I need to know, how long have you been doing henna?
I have been doing henna for almost 19 years now.
Wow,
I started my stint with henna, my relationship, as a matter of fact, I like to call it, with henna from high school, where my art teacher, Ms. Sharma, she introduced me to henna. And I felt as though I was the only one in my school, and it was a Hindu school, that didn't know about henna.
Right.
And from the minute that she introduced me to it, it's been a roller coaster ride. It's been a very passionate thing of mine, and I love what I do. And I thank her very much for helping me to reach here as well too, because you know she was the initial start.
And being that you're here on the show now, and you know people are seeing you doing your artwork, and I'm sure a lot of people would be interested. How do people get into contact with you to get this done on themselves?
Well, usually, and as you know, we are at the Divali Nagar every single year. And we've been there for the past 10 years, and unfortunately we're not there this year because there is no Divali Nagar. So it's a big loss for a lot of henna artists, to be honest with you, for those who are accustomed being there. I actually embarked on opening a store. So I actually have the very first henna store in Trinidad. Yeah. So it's the Henna Trinidad store, and you can find us in Freeport, just off the courts, where courts reporters there. We're actually at a new building called The Light.
Right.
And we are there, and we're going to be there today from 9 o'clock, straight up until our last client.
And with that, I want to say thank you so much, Risa, Raghunandan, and Mohammed, for joining us this morning and sharing all this wonderful information about Mehindi Henna and the art of Mehindi itself. We now go back to our Diwali devotions to our band outside, and we continue to celebrate Diwali here on the Now Morning program.
Open